Stay savage, your boy Shino Benchar, what's poppin'? Today we are back with a little bit of a speculation video, almost kind of talking about Boruto Uzumaki. Well, I didn't even say almost. This is actually us talking deadass about Boruto, because you guys know there's a lot of speculation behind his dojutsu and shit like that. We've seen a lot of different things in the last episodes, so tomorrow we get a new episode. So before the new episode comes into play, I want to talk about Boruto's dojutsu a little bit. I kind of want to give my own personal thoughts, my own personal opinions, you know what I'm saying? So right now, you know, if you got your own personal thoughts and your own personal opinions on what I'm about to say, make sure you leave those in the comment section below. Basically what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about how Boruto's dojutsu only activates when we see some weird dark chakra, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to kind of talk about that, and then we're going to talk about what it could possibly be, or what it could possibly do in the future, or maybe it might be just completely useless. So with that being said, if you guys are excited about today's episode, make sure you take that W, hit that like button, and with that being said, let's get into today's video. Let's get it.
Whipping all this double bitty chopper. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. It don't mean that be like Jerry Stacker. I might fall in love with my trap house.
Alright, so looking at Boruto's dojutsu, we see this weird eye, we see motherfucking Toneri come up in Boruto's dreams and shit like that. We've seen a lot of weird shit happening in Boruto. And the thing with Boruto and Naruto is like, why the fuck is it always about eyes? Why can't it be about an arm or a leg or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Why we can't see like a superpowered fucking arm that everybody wants that can destroy any fucking thing? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess towards the end of Naruto, it became about hands, because you know they had the seals on their hands and shit like the sun and the moon. But for the most part, everything we know about Naruto has been focused around the eyes, shit that goes on inside the stomach, some type of shit like that, you know. Right now we back focused on some eye shit. So right now we got Boruto's dojutsu, right? Boruto speculated that it was the Byakugan. He went to his grandfather, he went to Hanabi, he went to his dad, you know, telling his family, hey, I think I have the Byakugan, etc, etc, etc. You know, we need to do a test to see if I actually have it or not. And the thing is, it didn't come to like light, you know, it wasn't shown to be the Byakugan, you know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where it's like, alright, so we haven't seen you use any particular like dojutsu skills with this. One thing we've only noticed that you have with this dojutsu is that it's an eye that you can see dark chakra with, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's an eye to cleanse dark chakra. Now, I know this probably runs into conflict, and you know, they probably bumps head with what I'm about to say next. We're talking about Kawaki and Boruto towards the end of the well, not the end, but towards the beginning of the manga, you know, which was gonna be like probably the end of the anime or some shit, or at least close to the middle maybe, or something like that. I mean, I know it's gonna be like 5 years before we see this shit. Nah, I'm just joking. But like when him and Kawaki fight, we see Boruto activate the dojutsu, you know what I'm saying, as if, you know, he has some type of power with it, because you see like the little curse mark which goes blue, and then we see Kawaki which has one that goes red, something like the Star of Hope versus the Star of Destruction, the Evil Eye, or some shit like that. Basically we see him activate that as if the dojutsu has an ability to allow him to use physical abilities, or even give him some type of power, you know. And it's one of those things where you sit there and you think about it. You know, when we look at Boruto now, we've seen Boruto activate his eye, not intentionally, but it activated on its own a lot of times, right? So I guess it could be argued that, hey, you know, he still doesn't have full control of his power, he still doesn't know how to activate it yet, you know, vice versa and shit like that. But the one thing that concerns me most about it is like, you know, we haven't seen it allow him to do anything special besides see chakra, which you can see with the fucking Byakugan, or you can see with the Sharingan. You can see some weird chakra, you can see a weird pattern in the chakra, you see when something's going strange. So far we've only been able to see Boruto look at dark chakra. He knows when somebody's like going through some shit, or knows when somebody's completely possessed by dark chakra, and you know, he basically follows them afterwards. We don't see him get like amplified some type of special ability with it. You know how the Sharingan allows you to see when people's gonna move at, you know, to see the body motions and shit like that. You know where they're gonna move at before they move. You can copy their jutsu, their ninjutsu, you know, even copy their taijutsu, which we saw with Sasuke when he copied Rock Lee's you know, Primary Lotus and shit like that. You know, it's one of those things where with this Star of Hope, with this particular dojutsu, you know, we're just gonna call it the Star of Hope, because there's no proper name for it yet. Like, that's the only thing we heard Toneri call it, was the Star of Hope. With the Star of Hope, we haven't seen Boruto, you know, see like advanced movements. We didn't see him predict people's movements. We didn't see Boruto like do different type of outrageous techniques that allowed him to do different things with the dojutsu, far as just seeing it. I mean, Boruto has been a decent amount of episodes, you know. It's like, goddamn, we got a bulk of episodes. And one thing I want to talk about in particular It's like how he calls it the Byakugan, and when the Byakugan, you can see through anything, you know, you see chakra points and shit like that, but with the motherfucking Star of Hope, which he has, you don't see that. You only see an aurora, you only see a cloak of dark chakra. Now, one thing that concerns me with it is it could be like the Tensegan. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not the Tensegan, because there's been a lot of topics and a lot of discussions. But the thing with the Tensegan is the Tensegan can go away. Like, you know, Naruto broke the Tensegan with one Rasengan. Like, when he finally made contact with that one hit, that's when the Tensegan left Toneri. You know, the Tensegan probably leaves and come back whenever you need it. And the one thing that concerns me the most is, like, so we've been watching the Boruto movie. A lot of you have watched the Boruto movie. Majority of you have watched the Boruto movie. I know a lot of people still ask me to this day, where can I watch the Boruto movie? You know, there's a lot of different sites. You just gotta Google, man. But in the Boruto movie, you know, he was fighting against Momoshiki, right? You know, and the thing is, he never once activated, the eye never once activated. We never seen no dark chakra around Momoshiki. You know, we never seen no dark chakra around Kenshiki. You know, we didn't see any of that eye dojutsu shit activate at all. We didn't see him like use it at all. And at this point in time, Boruto is a lot further ahead than he is in anime, because, you know, in anime he's at the beginning of the academy, and this is around the time he's going up for the Chunin exams. So Boruto is a lot like further than what most people expect him. You know, he's a lot more advanced. He's pretty much further into Naruto, like how Naruto was when the Chunin exams was. Like, if you look at Naruto and you look at Boruto in the movie, he's like towards that level when Naruto, you know, and them was going against the Chunin exams and shit like that. They were like really strong. And so I look at it and I think to myself, I'm just like, yo, Boruto didn't use this eye. What the fuck is up with that? And then, you know, if you're reading the manga, for the manga, you don't see that eye activated either. You only see it in the beginning when he fights against Kawaki. You know, they talk about the eye. Nobody can actually depict what it is because you can't see a color of it, you know what I'm saying, in the manga. But eventually, you know, you see a color through the anime and you see, like, the cover art and shit like that. But, you know, you can't really depict what the fuck it is from the manga as well. And then throughout the whole entire manga, you don't see it. You don't see any of the eye action. You don't see any of that, like, taking place. You don't see none of that transpiring. So it's one of those things where it's like, yo, what is going on? Like, what's going on with Boruto's eye? Like, what exactly is it? Is it just something that allows him to see dark chakra? Is that something that allows him to, you know, find what's going on with the world or some shit like that? Find evil people whenever shit's going bad, or find with people whenever they caught up in their emotions or some shit like that? Because, like I said, time and time again, for the most part, everybody that's been taken over by this dark chakra has had some type of emotional setback, some type of emotional swing. You know, you see them upset, you see them very rowdy, very like just nuts, going crazy. So it's one of those things where you think to yourself and you're just like, yo, what exactly is going on with Boruto's eye? You know, because honestly, we haven't seen no physical ability. We haven't seen, you know, him being able to see chakra points. We haven't seen him able to copy jutsu, copy techniques, or anything like that. So it's one of those things where I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, what if Boruto's eye is only for seeing that? What if it's just for seeing chakra? Because for the whole entire manga, we didn't see Boruto use that eye at all. You know, we had Sarada talk about his eyes, talk about how they're bluer than the 7 Hokages, and then we had Momoshiki, which didn't happen in the movie at all. This shit didn't happen in the movie at all. Like, this shit was like, where the fuck did it come from? You know, after they manga chapter, the movie, you know, Momoshiki had like a little message for Boruto. This kind of was like a add-on to the movie, I guess. And it was like, he was talking about how his eyes will be the destruction of him, you know, oh son of man, oh ye of son of man, or some shit like that. You know, talking about how his eyes were like, you know, what will be something that be the downfall of him and shit like that, his blue eyes and shit like that. So, you know, they talked about his eyes, but we never see it. Like, we never see him use his eyes with power. So does his eyes like go away after a certain point in time? Will his eyes take a bigger role in the anime than it does in the manga and the movie? Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, what the fuck is going on with this man's eyes? Because right now at this point, it's like, will Boruto's eyes be completely useless? Will it be only good for seeing chakra? Will you only be able to see dark chakra, see people that's like fucking strung out, possessed by this evil chakra or shit like that? Like, because at this point in time, you know, I'm still to the point where I haven't seen anything particular happening with his eyes in terms of like physical ability. We haven't seen him do anything with it, and you know, it's probably because of the fact that it's still premature. And like I said, it could probably run hand in hand. What I said earlier, it probably will conflict with him activating his eyes when he fought Kawaki in the beginning of the anime, beginning of the manga. You know, because why would he activate it if it didn't have like a physical ability, if it didn't have some type of ninjutsu effect or something that it was vital to his hand-to-hand combat or some shit like that? Why would he activate it? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it was just activated because he was upset, or will it give it some type of stamina boost or something like that? So like, let me know what you really think this eye jutsu is gonna do in terms of his physical ability. Because right now, in terms of visual, all we're seeing is dark chakra. We're not seeing advanced movements, you know, how Sasuke could predict movements before they happen. We don't see vital spots, how Hinata can see chakra points, you know what I'm saying? Or like see advanced ranges and see like hella great distances and see through like rocks and shit to spot the enemy and see weird chakras and shit like that. We don't see all those advanced techniques and advanced like eye powers that we see with the Sharingan and the Byakugan. Right now, we're just seeing chakra. So like, I'm kind of concerned about that, and I hope that for a fact that this doesn't come off with Boruto just having a useless eye. Like, I just pray to God. So if you guys like have your own personal speculations on what you think is going on with his eye, you know, let me know. This was pretty much just like a discussion video, you know what I'm saying? Because I just really wanted to know what's going on with like Boruto's eyes and shit like that. So with that being said, my name is Shino Ben Trill. Stay true and stay real. Hope you guys have a blessed day. And until next time, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and see you guys later.